Promo has been posted. Paper not in mouth yet. Subject to change. Paper still in one piece. Also subject to change. Tear this into mostly even pieces. If they're not even, I accept said circumstances. I'm feeling pretty numb, and not numb in emo bad slit wrist type of way. Numb in kind of a I kind of like what's going on, even if it's not good. How about that? Speaking of which, my score for the day, that makes it really interesting, right? Because what determines our score for the day? I never got this meta, did I? Because is our score for the day determined on what exactly has happened during the day, or how I feel about it, right? I mean, I think the obvious answer should be how I feel about it. So let's put that in. How do I feel about my day, even though if what happened in it kind of sucks? I'm feeling better than that the day actually went. So get ready for this. Yeah, how about that, huh? Better score than I expected. With some reminiscing, I realized that, you know what? Yeah, sure, my day was bad, but I'm feeling better than my day was. Yeah, I know, it was a pretty bad day. If I were to describe you know what? Why not? So, I smell mutiny. I smell mutiny from a distance. If you want to know what that is, I don't want to be too cryptic, so I'll just say it outright. I want to keep playing, with jazz ensembles. I just don't like the dynamic of Jazz Inc. And yeah, I'm talking about it publicly. Oh my god, it's unprofessional. Oh no, he's going off the rails. Yeah, I disagree with professionalism when it gets to the point where it's like I have to keep my cock, mouth, and other orifices so sealed about anything. It's like I can't be honest with people who watch my shit, and no one cares, man. No one's gonna go out and go onto the Jazz Inc. Instagram page and spam shit. Actually, I really wouldn't mind if you did do that. It would be funny. It'd be the first interesting thing to ever happen in Jazz Inc. ever. All we do is just throw a bunch of fucking, like, we throw crutches on trampolines. We don't do anything. We just don't stay on task. We fuck around, pretend like we're some high profile jazz thing when we're a bunch of children who somehow landed these, like, I don't know how we land all these high profile professional gigs, but boy oh boy, are we just like so goddamn bad. But yeah, it's I've already said this to a couple people. I mean, I had a conversation with some people, but I'm being put in a tricky situation where I'm being strung along. But even that has its limit. Where it's like, yeah, sure, you can be a really manipulative human being, but the degree to which you can string some good Samaritan like me along has a logical limit to where I have to go, okay, there will be a point where I will prepare for whatever excuse you make up. Yeah, no matter how outlandish or Looney Tunes-esque they get. Oh my god, I have 3 new girlfriends now, and we're all gonna make music together. We have 3 new collaborators. Like, no matter how wacky and outlandish your suggestions get. Oh my god, Brian, if you leave now, there's so much new Jazz Inc. shit, or just around the corner. I was like, yeah, I want to keep ascending as a player, and I want to play with more non-shitty jazz ensembles with good musicians. Good musicians are everywhere. So I get to the point where I literally just put a story out there saying, hey, any jazz musicians who just want to have a bust with me, set something up. Some of the best jazz albums were made with no rehearsals, no planning, just a bunch of complete strangers who didn't know each other, recorded some good shit. Jazz Inc. is a really good example of why that can sometimes be a good format. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm frustrated because, I mean, I think I got reminded of that when I got dragged into it. My aunt convinced us to go to a big supposed party competition with free food, and it was like in broad daylight, and it was this Halloween event that my cousins Cam and Wyatt were going to, and my mom somehow convinced Dom to come along. I'm like, oh, Dom is already having rough times. I don't want to make it worse. And I felt so bad because when we got there, it was literally like a YMCA summer camp event where it was like all these toddlers with their banana outfits and they were just walking around. They had no idea what they were doing. They were just walking in circles. It was like a fashion show where they're supposed to pick out the best costume. I don't know. And as a reward, you'd get one of those like pencils with smiley faces on it that you get at schools with like the shitty print pencils. Oh my god, you get a scratch and sniff sticker. It smells like a burger. And I'm going, why the fuck am I here, man? And why was I given no information about what this would be? Because like I know my mom pulls some wacky ass shit sometimes, but she would never sign me up for something this bad without giving me any information beforehand. Like, and the reason is because my aunt, she went completely rogue out of nowhere and just signed us up for this ridiculous thing. So it was an unfortunate set of circumstances because they had this spooky music playing, and then there was like they had the gall to have like a couple of grown adults dressed up as like clowns to try and scare people at like 12 in the afternoon in broad daylight in public next to like an elementary school, the least scary place on planet Earth. It's like the worst situation you could have done that. And me and Dom were just sitting there. The promo, the where I put the day number and the link thing, all that shit that I put there on my Instagram story for this paper stream. It's a photo of Dom and Raina suffering together. Part of my burp. Yeah, no, 12, whatever. Afternoon, noon. Yeah, noon. However you say it. All right, I know. It AM turns to PM or PM turns to AM at 12 or some shit like that. They always make it confusing. So I'm saying at noon. Or no, yeah, 12 in the afternoon. Exactly, yeah. Thoughts on the hurdy-gurdy? Okay. Hey, Siri. What in the fuck is the hurly-gurdy? Tell me already. Hey, Siri, what in the fuck is a Harley-gurdy? I don't know how to respond to that. Hurdy-gurdy. Did I spell that right? Okay, you know what? I could just type the thing in. If this is some sort of demented sex act that's going to show up, that's now like permanently on my browser history, oh, I'm going to get you, Megamind, for this. Hurdy-gurdy. You know, I'm not on Google. I'm on like the weird Siri search bar. What the hell is this? This is very clearly not connected to anything, any good resources. All right, let's go on Google. Get out of here, Google Translate. Hurdy-gurdy. All right, let's find out what the hell this is. It's a string instrument that, yeah, we should probably do jazz hurdy-gurdy. There, you know, any instrument can be jazz. It can be jazzified. Just play it with attitude. So it's this string instrument, wheel rubbing against the strings. I want to see what this looks like. It's like a demented viola. What the fuck is this? It almost has like a little mini piano attached to it. I like that. That's adorable. I bet it sounds absolutely dusty and awful, but I'm totally into that. There are some pretty bad instruments out there, and I want for them to be jazzified. It'll be the funniest thing. I want for someone with just a really old, just dusty pair of bagpipes, or with one of those really old French horns. Not an actual French horn, like those weird mountain climbing horns that only spurt out one note, and have someone just do a one note solo over I don't know, Una Mas or something like that. That'd be so fucked and great. Yeah, you know, Caden, if you want to collaborate with a dying band, you're gonna have to contact Dave about that. You know, not to overestimate my ability to have a new start or anything like that, but I already had some great experiences with Jazz Inc. I mean, nearly 2 years worth. So it's like at this point, the way I see it, what Jazz Inc. gave me is a ton of experience of being at very high-profile professional gigs, a repertoire, and from this point forth, I feel like I could start another jazz ensemble, perhaps of my own, or it wouldn't be mine. But I wouldn't play this weird faux leader role that, you know, creates a crappy dynamic. I'd let everybody have their own thing, and I would just want for it to be a thing where people play and have fun. I wouldn't even need to give a name to it. It could just be Brian and this guy and that girl and this person and that person. We could just name it that. That's what a lot of great jazz ensembles did. So, but yeah, if you ever want to collaborate, you'll have to reach out to Dave because he's the leader, even though everyone in the band gets equal say. So, still love Dave, still a nice guy, but him and I have had a minor falling out recently because there's a lot of things he does that are socially dishonest, and I don't think he realizes he does it. But at the same time, he is like, I've told him sometimes I need to distance myself from not just the band but also you, and he is so desperate to want to keep people as friends because he has these irrational emotional attachments to things that he's like, no, Brian, okay, if you leave now you're gonna regret it. And it's very clear the motive behind it. He just wants for me to stay, but not because I'm supposedly indispensable as a drummer. No, you can replace me easy. It's like, sure, I'll stand by. I think I have some skills as a percussionist, but and you can the San Diego jazz scene, it's not as deflated and gay as people say it is. You can find someone who can replace me skill wise, but Dave very clearly wants to keep me because he has this irrational attachment to these friendships and all that. So it's very difficult too because he's just entrapping me at this point, and I want to be friends with him. I mean, I am a great friend with him. I'm one of his. We're as close as friends can be, but at the same time, it certainly is not healthy. I mean, this can't be healthy. I mean, call me crazy. I don't think this is healthy. I mean, the way I'm describing this to you, fellas, this cannot be healthy. So, no root beer. Yeah, no, I legitimately. Sorry, Mock. I am not reading any of the comments. I'm way too self-absorbed. I apologize. But yeah, Jazz Inc. is highbrow. I agree. I'll say when we're playing, we can be highbrow if we don't, we don't fuck up a gig, or something disastrous doesn't happen. But we're not highbrow when we're doing anything else, like being social with each other. It's nightmarish. We should break up and then come back with some badass North American arena tour. Yeah, in 10 years when we all grow up and stop being immature crybabies about everything, then maybe we can come back and we can do a little reunion. And maybe we can find a new glory age, and this can kind of just be the prelude. But for now, man, oh God, I'm so eager to move on already and just do something else. At least take a break. But if I bring up taking a break to him, he's gonna go, dog, man. All this time that we've spent nervously awaiting the next gig and socially pressuring each other and being such assholes to each other. Yeah, that's not really a break because we aren't technically playing. I'm like, yeah, that's not what constitutes a break at this point, especially with this complicated ass, ridiculous band. That went down smooth. Yeah, no, maybe I should actually listen to what a hurdy-gurdy sounds like just so I can kind of get an example. It should be I'm guessing it would be good in jazz. Let's see. Because I Megamind, I've known you for a while, and I can imagine you picked that just because you think the name's funny, which it is, of course. Let's see. Audrey Vinogradov's demonstration of the hurdy-gurdy reverse dance, medieval dance. That's not a hurdy-gurdy. That's a shitty Microsoft ad. But while that ad's running itself out, yeah, I'd say there's a lot of reasons for me to stay. Like I love doing the gigs, and apparently, according to a lot of people in the jazz scene, some people would in fact give their left nut to have my place in jazzing, to just be in a band that gets professional gigs. Because it's one thing being in Young Lions Jazz Conservatory and having Gilbert be your big daddy, and you get to play on that big Panama stage you get some pay, but it's not really a gig you're securing because it's just handed to you. I mean, Jazz Inc. secures all these gigs through somehow how we do some shitty ass marketing, we don't even do a good job, but we still manage to acquire these gigs, and it is, I mean, it's a greater sense of accomplishment, right? But there's also many reasons for me to do other things. It's like, at this point, I feel pretty confident that I can market myself in a way where I can get people to just come over to a gig. It's like, yes, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe my image is so off-putting that it legitimately de-incentive. But shouldn't to some degree, wouldn't if I'm as off-putting as people say I am, would it be at a point where people are morbidly curious? But I mean, they come in, it's just me playing jazz. It's like, I'm not going to set fire to any buildings, at least not on that occasion. I just want to play music. I like playing music. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm not going to, cause any too much havoc. I'm just playing. Making the money I can. It probably would be great for the band, Caden. I'll consider it once I no longer hate being in the band. We'll find out. Speaking of Microsoft, what do I think of Bill Gates flying Lolita Express 36 times? I'm guessing Lolita Express was good old Jeffrey's airline, which I mean, fantastic, very trendy question, Caden. It's been 3 years gone at this point, but I mean, if you didn't know who Bill Gates was and you took a look at that crusty old guy, I mean, I think you'd draw this, pretty same conclusions. So I'm not too surprised. I mean, just because you have certain preferences sexually doesn't mean you can't be good at also designing web interfaces, being a pioneer in technology. I mean, those two things are pretty exclusive. This one's a little tough. But yeah, no. When I was off on this just completely useless excursion with Dom, and I mean, we ended up making it work. We actually we had a fun time at the end of the day. It's just the first half was definitely rough, and during that first half, I was going, "Ah, for fuck's sake, what am I doing? And what am I doing still being in Jazz Inc?" I was really just thinking about all the things that's happened in the last little bit, and I'm not gonna do a 50-minute stream like I did last time where I'm describe every little minute detail. That's going to put you all to sleep, probably kill you if I haven't already. So I'll just stick with I just got reminded, and I looked back. I turned my head around in reverse, and I looked backwards at what's been going on, and I realized, you know what, I got to do something at some point. Not dead or asleep yet. That's a miracle. I don't know how you guys make it through this much of a fucking stream. Oh yeah, right. I need to hear what a hurdy-gurdy sounds like. Oh, you crank it. It's like a music box. That's crazy. Yeah, listen to this. See, look, he has. Okay, so there's three things I'm noticing. He has the crank. There are these strings. Obviously, it sounds like a violin, but it also works like an accordion where you have these goofy ass little buttons that you press and play. But then you can choose to like push the crank back and forth. I like that. That would be crazy good to use in a a speed swing. That'd be fun. Look at what he's doing with his right hand. Shit, that's good. No, I wanna advocate for a hurdy-gurdy player to join Jazz Inc. But of course, Dave's gonna be like, dude, that's unprofessional. Yeah, I think we don't. Let's not violate the status quo. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you see, I told you that one would put up a fight. All right. Oh boy. Would I consider pursuing any solo productions as a musician? It's a good question. I mean, what, just me drumming on Home Depot buckets? I mean, I could make that work. I mean, I still do know how to play some xylophone, but I hate playing xylophone so much because it's just not as fun. But long time ago, I would play orchestra xylophone, and I would be suffering for hours on end as we slowly rehearsed Sorcerer's Apprentice, and I had to play in like 9/3, and it was the thing that got me to playing jazz percussion, because I wanted to do anything other than orchestra bells. See the playlist. Yeah, right here. I send the playlist, Duncan. I might not have sent yet. I'm looking at yeah, the only text I got right now is from Vote for Fan Anderson. Thanks, loser. I don't know who any of these people like. I'm nothing in going on in schools right now from school boards affects anything with me. So it's like, I don't know why people are pressuring for me to like what do I want to improve Raina's education? Yeah, fuck no. Oh, check the chat. What, the Discord chat? My Discord notifications are so screwed because I'm following like 20 different things. outside of the jazz genre, I mean, what? I mean, I used to not. I mean, the stuff that I did outside the jazz genre was purely orchestra based. I mean, if you're saying I join a rock band, I mean, that's a question. It certainly is. What I wanted to do is I always wanted to have a jam session with Raina because she is becoming a bit of a solid bassist herself and a very good singer. She just doesn't project as much as she should, but I can do some rock drumming. I just don't like doing it. It's not really my thing, but I can I can extend. I can extend outside my bubble and see if I can do something. You know, because sometimes that's how you get the best results, right? Forgot about the 10-second delay. Yeah, there we go. Visions at youtube.com. It's a hurdy-gurdy, Duncan. It doesn't have to be. It's like it's very. Oh, it's an actual album. Okay, I thought it was like your weird ass name for the thing.
When you see things,
there's hurdy-gurdy music. It's an actual thing. All right, I'm gonna really be using Spotify a lot in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, technically, if we count it, the stuff that I've been doing on the YouTube channel for the last 2-3 years kind of counts because I've been releasing an album a year, not on streaming services all the time, but at least on YouTube, and I consider that official enough for me. And it's not really within the jazz genre. It's like really shitty. I'll call it clunk hop because it's like hip hop but shit, and I'm speaking a bunch of nonsense, and it sounds really clunky. So that's my new genre. Bit of a pioneer. That's me. So I mean, based off how it was all marketed, retrospective, introspective, an absolutely awesome auditory album, the Fecal Tape Volume 1, and all the other loose singles that were never in an album that I made, which probably all amounts to like a total of like, I don't know, 2.5 hours of material, max. That's a solo production. I mean, I produced all that stuff, wrote all that stuff, unfortunately performed all that stuff. Chaotic funk. Now that'd be a cool, very, very cool genre for me to pioneer. Unfortunately, has not happened yet. But the thing is that I really do like playing jazz in particular. And it's like if Jazz Inc. I mean, the thing is that of all of the fucking people on the planet, I never expected for Caden to be the one to be a big reminder of that. But a big reminder he gave me was, you know, when I played at Panama, I often play things that Jazz Inc. is often too scared to play because we're just so milquetoast all the damn time. We only play mid-tempo swing, and I'm so fucking tired of it. It's like we actually played something exciting, and the thing is that when I practice, like I choose songs that Jazz Inc. never plays because all the stuff that Jazz Inc. plays, I know how to play to a level at which there's like no possible improving upon it that I can do. It's like the improving that I can do upon playing those songs are things that in general musicianship, it's not exclusive to those songs. It's just in general with the particular instrument can be generally amongst all songs improved upon. Like nothing about that particular song. The tempo, that type of mid-tempo swing stuff, I have unfortunately like grown so accustomed to playing it. You could say I've mastered it, but I'd like to say I've just become so complacent with playing it that playing it is such not a big deal that it becomes so boring to me. So I am looking for, and you know, Caden's comments were like, I didn't realize you could drum like that because the only jazz I've heard you play is all this mid-tempo swing shit. And I realized, oh yeah, he is right. And it's like, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything, I don't think I'm like the greatest musician on the planet, but it's like I'm playing, I feel so far below my skill level with Jazz Inc. because we're only playing this shit. It's just so unexciting for me. And we're starting to play some more up-tempo stuff, things with different grooves and all that. But I mean, does that at all compensate for everything else with it? And also still how we are so musically complacent? Absolutely not. So yeah, I'm looking for a change. Panama's a great example of that, but that's once a week, and I get called up on like 1, maybe 2 songs a week. When, you know, I'd like to play full shows that are, you know, fully exciting. So I'm thinking I just got to be with a different group of people because, you know, I could be playing so much more exciting stuff that I think could show off what I can do a lot more, and it's just not happening. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, thank you, Kata. That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate the kind words. I'm not gonna say that I'm overqualified. I'm gonna say that there are certain particular members of the band that I'm not gonna name that are underqualified. I think it's just that there is a talent gap. You know, I think if I were to be grouped with I'll say through my perspective, a more average group of musicians, it would work a lot better because I'm grouped with some pretty great musicians. Like Dom is legitimately a child prodigy at the saxophone, but I'm also grouped with, some pretty below average. That's all I'll say about that. And that is, of course, my choice to choose not to, slam people, first and last name and go, oh, this person's a below average. That's really mean. I'm not gonna be a dingleberry like that. But, anyways, yeah, I'm those are my thoughts because I don't like being put in a rut like this because I'm socially being pressured. Oh my God, Brian, if you leave right now, dude, you're gonna miss all this shit. And it's like, okay, well, I also just have a general code. It's like if I agree to do some gigs, I'm not gonna opt myself out of that. But at the same time, I am reaching my limit. I am going to want to do other things. And I don't know if I'm capable of grouping together or being put in a group of people who can, because, Max Badel was one of my, main contacts I'd use. He's just gone. He's just on the other side of the continent. So, a lot of the people, and a lot of the people who I used to know, I mean, it's just, people naturally become more distant. It comes in waves. But I'm in a very frustrating particular part of one of those waves where I'm just like, can we just end this like overblown chapter of my life already? It's drawn out, unnecessary. It's like just what I imagine Transformers 11 is going to be like, because just the Transformers movies, they just keep getting longer and worse, which is just two separate worlds of evil. So it's like this chapter of my life has gone on for far too long. And it is so just grating on my brain. I've never had less will to live, with the exception of maybe 5th grade. But it's getting close, man. I am secretly suffering all the time. So it'll work itself out probably. So let's listen to hurdy-gurdy music now. And you can pluck it too. When does the madness fucking end? You can just do this. Instrument can do everything. In fact, I guarantee you, one just 60-year-old man with probably dirty fingernails could replace every single member of Jazz Inc. if he had a hurdy-gurdy and he knew how to play it properly. Like, what can this instrument not do? Right? Those taps have to be you tapping on the hurdy-gurdy. The album cover is literally a hurdy-gurdy with a bunch of shit extending from it. Okay, well, the brightness is too high, so you can't see it. So let me just try and... Look at that. That's my control center. Look at that. It's what looks like a hurdy-gurdy with a bunch of, random ass... Is that a spinning wheel? Is that, a cotton dispensary? Is that, a random old abandoned building? This is really good Halloween music. I'm definitely going to get my father to play this out the speakers. By the way, I cannot trick-or-treat this year. I know, yeah, too old, this and that, the other thing. No, I got away with it last year, and I really don't think I've aged significantly enough since last year for it to make much of a difference, but I have a stupid gig, and I really appreciate the candy, so I like the variety. Although my Halloween candy from last year is still, a good 10 pounds of it back there. So I think I should probably get on that. Maybe I should donate that to, I don't know, some hospital where some children without legs can eat them or something like that. Have I written my own stuff? Well, I mean, if you're talking in terms of the shit on the YouTube channel, I mean, yeah. But if you're talking in terms of, say, jazz stuff, yes, I've done original arrangements of songs that already exist. The Pat Metheny song, Last Train Home, really good song, by the way. I created an arrangement of how we could do our own rendition of it, and I'm pretty proud of that. Took a little bit of mental grease to, iron that whole thing out, but that doesn't count because I'm not writing this song, really. I rewrote some parts of the song so it could accommodate us better, but that's just me accounting for some of our members' incapabilities at their instrument. When it's like I have to do a double stroke roll the entire time perfectly in time, and some other people play one note every 4 measures. So, I don't want to hear any horn players complaining about that fucking song. Oh my god, it hurts my lips. Get out of here. That double stroke roll that I have to do with the brushes on the snare for the entire 11 minutes that we play that song, my wrists will never feel the same again. But if I've written my have I written my own stuff? Yeah, I'm working on that. When it comes to jazz, I really am interested in doing that. And actually, when I've been asked, do you want to make any unironic music projects? That is a question that I cannot answer. I have no idea. I don't know what I want, because that's quite an investment. If I want to put all the effort into doing that, I want for it to not suck. So I don't know if I can make it not suck yet. We'll find out. Although there have been some moments, some brief glimmers, when I've been producing just a bunch of shit on my YouTube channel where it's like, oh, wow, this thing that I made actually does unironically kind of sound kind of good. And then I never thought about it again, and I just kept making a bunch of garbage. But, I'm entering my Brian arc. I like the name. I'm a big fan of the name. Rising action is occurring as we speak. Yeah, one of them is I need to take a shit right now. So that is day 353. That's the end of the paper. That's the last of it. It's all within me. I will see you all on the next paper eating adventure. That'll be day 354. Thank you very much for watching. And remember to laugh, cry, and also not die. I was gonna say goodbye, but now people are like 3 different people are typing shit. That's gonna be you, Brian. Okay. Yes. No. Thank you. That's very nice. I'm not exactly what that's referring to, but I will cast the most positive aspersions and go, oh, thank you. And yes, the Caden meant Joker arc, which I if it hasn't already happened, I mean, if you've watched any of my content, just know that I'm just like I'm on the fucking edge, but. I think you definitely have the creativity, and I am not creative enough to fill in that blank. I'm just gonna say yes. No, I appreciate the fact that you think I have the creativity to unironically write a mediocre album. Yeah, Ascension by Brian Case. I'm not gonna aim. What's like the dumbest album names? Like, don't like come up with any poop jokes. Right? Like, what is like an actual unironically just cliched and shitty name for an album? Ascension's one of them. I'm not, like, anybody who names their album Ascension at this point in time, I am immediately giving a skip. Like, I don't care if Kanye's next album is called Ascension. I'm just like, I'm not gonna listen to it if I see an album with such a like boring ass name. What's another one? A lot of them is just one word names. My Black Heart. That's another one. That one sucks. But I mean, Ascension. Awakening. Oh god, yeah. If you have an album named Awakening, that's fucked up. You cannot get away with that and not be made fun of. But yeah, okay. I think with that, I think I gave like a good 3 answers to my question that I asked myself. So with that mediocre note, I think that's a good place to end off. Make sure to laugh, cry, and also not die. Goodbye, silly goober. We will do that in the next paper stream. Make sure to laugh, cry, and not die. I've postponed this stream enough. Goodbye. Thumbs up. Next stream.